in one. Holla ballers and a happy 4th of July covered in fucking knuckle hair to you guys. Very Freedom Day, everybody. Freedom knives for everybody. Freedom pipes, freedom drinks, and just a whole big ass bunch of fireworks, barbecued meats as it rains and pours down here in the UK. I hope you understand one goddamn thing. Celebrate with all your might. A huge thank you goes out to all of you guys. There'll be a highlight of my Twitch stream of my thank you. It's not going to be on the YouTube, so you can come and check that out of your own free will. To celebrate the freedom of the All-American heroes around the world. And the fact that we did, in fact, get a sub point today. Oh, the ghost pipes, the faces. It's all going well. Thank you to everybody for that. We're going to have some RP. And we're going to read a story entitled How I Got Ghosted 3 Times and Ghosted Once in Return. Do 3 wrongs make a right? We'll see. We'll see. These are 2 longish stories with plenty of characters in and all that kind of stuff for today's Drama Friday. I would also like to point out that on Sunday, I am to be interviewed, I think on my own. I think I'm going one-man army. I think I'm flying solo. By finalboss.tv. Will it be hard-hitting questions? Will it be gritty? Will it be intense? I don't know. But I shall be prepared. So if you like to watch the Final Boss guys, or if you've never checked them out, or only watched the YouTube, I shall be live on there. See what kind of trouble we can get into on there. See what we're going to talk about. I don't know. Probably Warlords of Draenor. That would make sense, right? That would be appropriate given the time and what's going on at the moment. Be Warlords of Draenor. I hope we get to talk about Warriors. That would be fantastic. That would be fantastic, wouldn't it? That would be awesome. It's Drama Friday. What is Drama Friday? World of Warcraft and any MMO has millions of players in it. Not any MMO. But people are dicks and crazy. And sometimes we're dicks and we're crazy. And we do horrible things because it's the internet. And there's no repercussions, really, most of the time. They can just be generally twatty people. Most of us have grown out of that now. Good news! We've got out of the habit of being dickish to other people and just get on with the nice, merrily, normal human beings type stuff. So what we do is we retell those stories and we look back and we laugh. And perhaps people who are still dickish will realise you're being dickish. Or perhaps it's just a good old, fun old story. Or perhaps you ended up accidentally joining a gnome roleplay guild. Which can happen to anyone, right? We've all been there. So if you have a story to tell us which is just a little bit silly, a little bit daft, and contains some kind of emotional impact for the people, we're going to have a giggle at it. Bear that in mind. It's completely anonymous. Just send it to drama@preachgaming.com. We're going to kick off with some RP, because we missed last week. We missed last week with Blizzard releasing that obnoxiously timed patch for all the new beta stuff, releasing it on a Friday. Scum of the earth. So we're going to read our first story, which is the Gnome RP Guild. Who wants to be a role-playing gnome, people? Who wishes to be a role-playing gnome? Who wants to be the GM of the role-playing gnomes? Who wants to be Grand Gnome? Who wants to be that man? Who wants to be a gnome officer, in fact, as well? We need a gnome officer. We need a gnome warlock who is also going to be a damsel in distress. A damsel in distress, which is fantastic. So we need a female gnome looking sharp and somebody who is a game master. That's right. We're going to have a visit from Blizzard in this one. The Games Master. What a guy. Right, who are we having? White Winds? Oh, White Winds can definitely be the gnome GM. White Winds. So elvish. Lamaz can be the gnomish officer. Who's going to be our damsel? I need a damsel. Ooh, Siraya? Maybe. I know you ladies are out there. You send me the emails of your stories. You all pretend. No one's gonna get you. Siraya will do. I might end up saying Syria. Who's gonna be a GM? Who thinks they're bro enough? Who's Donyato? That could be you, Don. You could be the games master of the roleplay story. Right! We're getting deep into gnomish territory, people. Deep into gnomish territory. Okay? It's going to get small. It's going to get creepy. It's going to get a little bit weird. But still, gnomes, right? Gnomes. Good time. Let us begin with a Swiggles. Happy 4th of July. Mr. Preacher, this is a story about my first ever character in World of Warcraft and the horrors of a gnome hardcore raiding guild. Can it be done? I put the question to you, audience. Can it be done? Gnome-only progression guild. What race? There are no druids, right? No druids involved. Can it be done? I'm sure it can be done. After I bought the game and logged in for the first time, I unknowingly picked a roleplay server. Since I didn't know what RP was, I have a creature on me. Look at this. What the hell? I'm reading a story here, little guy. We'll talk later. After I bought the game and logged in for the first time, I unknowingly picked an RP server. Since I didn't know what RP meant, I was too excited to worry about what kind of realm I was on, so I quickly created a gnome warrior and began my epic quest. I named my gnome Sneevil. He was an ugly thing. He sneered angrily all of the time. You pick the ugly face. You know you can change the face, right? I'm just pointing out there. You might not have known what RP meant, but you can change the face from the angry gnome. You don't have to look angry all the time. I was probably 12 at the time, so I thought having an ugly little gnome as my character was hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. Did you also make that bald, mustached human? Is that you? Are you the guy who's doing that? Are you the one that keeps that model in the game? Is it you? Because you think it's really funny to play this really creepy guy? You know what I mean? Is that you? I slowly leveled to 15 and all of a sudden found myself exploring the Iron Forge. It was an awesome city, and I was shocked by how huge it seemed. I walked all around until I stumbled upon the coolest thing ever, the Deep Run Tram. I wondered what on earth, what seemed to be a train station, was doing in a seemingly dwarven medieval city. The tram arrived and there's a moment. Oh, isn't there a moment? I bet every single goddamn one of you remembers the first time you saw the Deep Run Tram and took that journey. Every single goddamn one of you. It's one of those moments in World of Warcraft that is just unforgettable. It's like the first time you fought Ragnaros. For those of you who ever did it in vanilla. The first time you saw Raggy come out of that pool of lava and you shit your pants because you knew you were about to get stomped. Every single one of you remembers the first time you rode the Deep Run Tram. That is a momentous occasion. Absolutely awesome. It's so good. It's still amazing. It's 8 years old. It's still fantastic. It's absolutely awesome. Absolutely fantastic. One of the best things ever in WoW. Right, okay. The tram arrived and I eagerly hopped upon it. I was on my way to Stormwind. At that point, I didn't really understand leveling. Really? What's to understand? Sure. So I was just having fun exploring the game. I'm exploring the game. Somehow, by a savage twist of fate, I found myself in a lovely place called Goldshire. I thought it was great. I ran into the tavern enthralled by all of the half-naked night elves and people sitting and RPing. At this point of the game, through my travels, I had already seen players RPing, but assumed that is just what everybody does. That's what World of Warcraft is, right? It's your only experience. It's what you know. It's what we're going to be doing. After a quick look around, I noticed a group of gnomes hanging out in the upstairs bedroom. This is actually what it says, right? This is actually... Be cool, I thought to myself. Smarten up, button up. Be cool, I got this. Be cool, I thought as I ran up and approached them. Nobody else in the tavern was talking to me, so I assumed it was probably because I wasn't their kind. You just instantly assumed racism, is what you went for. There's only one possible reason these people aren't speaking to me. Racists. This whole fucking place is full of racists from start to finish. It's a disgrace. That is your go-to. You're 12 years old. 12 years old. And you're instantly... your only assumption is racism. Your only assumption... At 12 years old. That is the only reason people weren't speaking to me. In reality, it was because I was walking up to them, watching what they were doing, and saying LOL a lot in capital letters. It's nothing to do with me saying LOL. LOL! LOL! It's racism. That's all it can be. It's racism. The gnomes were talking. But as soon as I appeared in the doorway, they stopped dead. And emoted sentiments such as, White Winds blinks. Or looks at you questionably. Did you, White Winds? Did you blink and then look at him questionably? Could not believe your eyes. I said hello and slash waved at them. The guild master, a grey-haired gnome by the name of White Winds, replied in character saying, do I have to do a gnome voice? Can we help you? That's pretty good, right? Thanks, guys. You're all racists. That's all this is. It's just fucking racism all over the screen. Race. Can we help you? LOL, I said. I'm new here. LOL, I'm new here. It's like texting a fucking kid. It's exactly like texting a 12-year-old. That's exactly what it is. White Winds instantly whispered me out of character saying, please do not interrupt us if you are not going to RP. Stop it. Stop it. If you're not going to RP, get the fuck out of here. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? I'm out of character now, son. Shit just got real. Get the fuck out. We're trying to RP. What's RP, I asked. Oh, White Winds said. Role-playing. How new are you? My second day, I explained. Oh. He then took me under his wing. White Winds, nice guy. White Winds then took me under his wing and told us to watch what they were doing. Don't take part. Just watch. Just watch. I soon understood what RP was. It seemed pretty cool. And I was under the impression that I was already a level 15 character hanging out with the best role players in the game. I'll have you know I met a bunch of gnomes in a Goldshire Inn and I'm kind of a big deal. I'm only level 15, but I've pretty much made it to the end. I can quit the game now. I also did the Throne of Thunder on LFR and Siege of Orgrimmar, so I've pretty much finished everything in World of Warcraft. See you later. Easy game, by the way. Casual mode. Many of these guys were level 70, and I'd never seen one. A few were lower. They were all in a guild that named the United Alliance of Gnomes. I knew instantly. This was the guild for me. This is the guild. Everything I've seen is great. I'm in. I'm totally invested. I'm joining. I can't think of anything more I need. This is the guild for me. This is it. White Winds allowed me to hang out while they RP'd as long as I stayed quiet. Do not join in. Do not join in. After an hour of watching them in their guild, an hour sat watching them, and their guild meeting was over, he implored me to have a go myself. I spoke with terrible punctuation, but basically the story I came up with was that I was a poor gnome who came to Goldshire looking for money. That's just, for a 12-year-old, that's alright. For a 12-year-old, that's pretty much it. I haven't got any money, so I came here looking for money. They seemed pleased by my basic RP storyline, and White Winds even whispered me saying, good. That seems really dark. He whispered me saying, good. That's like he broke you. This better not get really creepy. Good. Good. After another hour of hanging out in the tavern with my crew of gnomes. I've got a crew of gnomes. White Winds asked me a question in character. Will you join our organisation? Yes, I said. And I was instantly drafted into the United Alliance of Gnomes. There were a few members. A gnome rogue who went by the name of Lamaz, who was, in fact, White Wind's right-hand man. And a female warlock gnome named Soraya. Over the next few days, I levelled in Westfall and didn't see too much of the guild. But late at night, White Winds whispered me out of character and told me to be on tomorrow for a guild mission. RP guild missions are awesome. I asked him what was this. I had no idea. Was my character ready for this? I've done Westfall. He simply said, "Oh, you'll see." He's so sinister, this guy. He simply said, "Oh, you'll see," and then instantly logged out for the night. White Winds, you are genuinely, like, really creepy. Really fucking creepy. Good. Oh, you'll see. Oh, yeah. And eyes just get bigger and bigger. Just beyond tomorrow, yeah? We have a mission. And you're going to be a part of it. Good. Good. The first guild mission. I came on the next night, ready for the guild mission. The guild chat was going crazy with character messages. White Wind informed... Oh, so these aren't like... You're not supposed to use guild chat, right? Is this like amateur RP, Don? Where's Don? I need a decision here. I need a decision from Don. Using guild chat is wrong, right? From all the RP stuff I was told, because it doesn't make any sense. You're supposed to talk on that magical walkie-talkie thing we had in a different RP story. I'm just saying. That's what I know. I would call these guys out on this shit. It can't be doing that. White Winds informed us that Soraya had been captured by a rival guild who were all human bandits and summoned us all to the outskirts of Goldshire to go on a mission to save her. I was so excited. No, it's not. Some guilds have another channel. Okay, pretty good, pretty good. All right, so it's allowed. We'll let it slide this time. These are pretty elite guys. Alright, so we're off to rescue her. I was so excited and quickly moved to where I was summoned. I wondered who these bandits were. I drew my sword and shield in anticipation. About... sheath. I'm ready. About 10 members of the guild grouped up at the side of the West... Oh, 10 people? At the side of the Westbrook garrison, ready and willing for bandit blood. White Winds briefed us, and we were told that she was being held above by the waterfall. He divided us into 2 groups. One would flank right through the hills, and the other would move straight up to where she was being held. I know which team I want to be a part of. One of you will go the long way. The rest of us will go straight there. Alright, good job, team. Good tactics. I was in the hill group. Of course you were. You were totally in the hill group. Are you kidding me? You were absolutely in the hill group. Which was led by Lamaz. Lamaz is the leader of the hill group. You got to walk all the way around. After White Winds firmly reminded me to walk rather than run whilst RPing, we set off. I was very excited, but at that point I realised RP was really boring. No! Heresy! How could you? This was the point I realised RP was really boring. No way. We just walked around talking. RP seems to be a lot of us walking around and talking. I'm not being funny, but the stuff I did in Westfall was really cool. Have you seen the Dead Mines? Have you seen the Dead Mines? It's pretty good. Team 2 icon hype. Lamaz kept telling us that we were nearly there, but it took an hour to walk to the action. Oh my gosh. Every time I hear stuff about this, I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to say. But he's 12, I know, right? But if it's taking you an hour to walk to your RP stuff, that's a long time, isn't it? That's a long time to be slash walking through Goldshire. I'm just saying that's a really fucking long time. When we arrived there were many bandit players holding all of White Wind's group. Oh, they got taken captive? Oh, it gets interesting. Team 1 got captured, along with Soraya. We were outnumbered, and Lamaz urged our group to surrender. I stayed relatively quiet, unsure of what to do. They had clearly worked all the details out before. It was scripted, the whole thing. And they all began to RP seemingly scripted dialogue. Seems really odd. I was impressed by White Wind's RPing skills. He was so cool, standing up to the bandits and not backing down. What a strong gnome. Strong gnome. I wanted to impress him. So I broke free from capture, yelled freedom for the gnomes, and jumped off a waterfall. The only image I have in my head of that line is that crazy bastard in movies, the parody movies, he just dives off a cliff. Kind of like Dwayne Johnson and Samuel L. in that movie. I broke free from capture, yelled freedom for the gnomes, and dived off a waterfall. What else do you want to do? What else do you want to do? He's done it. On July 4th, he's pulled it off, right? He just thought, fuck this, I'm out of here. He just noped the crap out of there. Did it. All we needed to do, guys, was dive off the waterfall. What do you think? At the time, I thought this was a super cool move. Super cool. And that my guild would applaud me. Oh, none of us ever thought of just standing up and diving off the waterfall. That was a brilliant idea. Unfortunately, though, I received an angry out-of-character whisper from White Winds. I can't remember exactly what he said, but it was something like this. If you ever... I'm going to do it in a dark voice, haven't I? If you ever do anything like that again, I will end your life in this game. I know some powerful people. You do not know what I will do to you. Am I clear? Am I clear? White Winds is getting fucking dark, right? Getting dark. I was startled and taken aback. He was always so nice to me before. Was he, though? Was he, or was he preparing you? And I knew that he wasn't kidding because it was way out of character. I was startled, but I shakily replied, saying that I was sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. He knows powerful people, this gnome. And I was just trying to save everybody. How were you trying to save everybody? Which part of your plan of diving off a waterfall saved everybody? It kind of sounds like you abandoned ship. A little bit. It kind of sounds like you didn't save anybody. He calmed down a little and told me to come back up and shut up and watch. At that moment, I realised I'm not a very good role player either. I'm certainly not as good as I thought I was. I let them all down. I just stayed quiet for the rest of the night, and when the event had ended, I logged off without saying goodnight. Oh. A month passed. I didn't level very much. I want to become a better role player. So I attended various guild events and gradually earned their respect. First it was Lamaz, then it was Soraya, and then finally White Winds gave me a stern nod of approval. Then an event appeared on the calendar. Races at the Mirage Speedway, it read. It was described as the RP event of the year. I knew this was my chance. Are you holding on to your hats for the RP event of the year? Are you ready? Are you ready? I don't know how many people have ever seen a Games Master. I only have once. And it was at the day of the races. Some people may see this as a lie, but I promise you this was true. He was there, and he was role-playing. Although I had gained some approval from the guild, White Winds was still sometimes horrible to me. On the day of the races, I was summoned to 1,000 Needles and plunked into the middle of a desert. I still had never left Westfall, so this was the coolest place I had ever seen. 1,000 Needles? The vanilla version? The coolest place you've ever seen? Westfall is way frigging cooler than 1,000 Needles, vanilla version. It was a huge roleplay event. Not only was the entirety of my guild enjoying the fun, but also a huge amount of other guilds from all across the server. Much to my surprise and amazement, there stood at the side of the tracks a Games Master, complete with a blue hooded robe. I was stunned. I had heard of them and seen videos, but I never thought I'd actually get to meet one. I whispered White Winds. Is that a GM? I gushed. Yes, he replied bluntly. He's a friend of mine. Don't bother him. That's awesome, I said. He whispered me again. I have a job for you to do today. Don't mess it up. Anything, I said wistfully. What was this job? Did he want me to race or to commentate? What do you think his job was? Yeah, sure, Don. That's fine. What do you think his job was? What do you think his job was? You're not even going to believe it. It's brilliant. It's genius. Maybe he's going to be a racer. Maybe he'll take part in one of the races to get them going, to get the party started. Maybe he's going to be a commentator, right? Sit there giving feedback to all the people. Assassination? Ooh, could be assassination. He had to sweep. Garbage man. Garbage man. To shut the fuck up. Your job is to shut the fuck up for the entire time we're here. Stand up. None of you are going to get it. It's so good. Anything, I said wistfully. What was this job? Did he want me to race? To commentate? White Winds opened trade and gave me stack after stack of cheap mana pots such as milk and juice. You hand out drinks for those who are thirsty. Do never speak, just wait to be asked. Am I clear? You're a baller! Genius! Friggin' genius! He's a total waiter. Oh my god, did you get ghosted so friggin' hard. That is amazing. That is absolutely fantastic. So good. Don't even speak. Don't say a word. Oh my god. It's genius. So good. You hand out drinks for those who want them. Don't speak. Just wait to be asked. Am I clear? It wasn't quite what I had in mind, but I was just happy to be included. Oh, dude. Oh, dude. I watched the races. People rushed about on their mounts for cash prizes. It was awesome. However, despite the cool event, the Games Master enthralled me. I slowly edged my way towards him. I feel like you stand there when you're playing going... Like, you're really trying to stick to it. But you're like a puppy who can see the treat. And I just gotta creep on over. If I do the shimmy, if I get my shimmy on just right, we're gonna get there. Eventually, I'll be next to him. The Games Master was roleplaying too. It must have been his day off or something. I decided to take a leap of faith and roleplay with him. I know what'll make this all better. I'm gonna roleplay with him. I was sure if I pulled this off, I would become a respected member of the guild. I stayed in character, handing out drinks as I walked towards him. Drinks, sir. Drinks. Oh no, you're not allowed to speak. You just shove it in people's faces. Just open trade. That's what you're doing. Just opening trade, right? I didn't want to break White Wind's commands. Salutations, I exclaimed in true gnome fashion. Hello, he replied. Would you like some refreshments? The GM smiled and said, oh, thanks, Hughes. Yes, I would. My heart raced as we traded. I was trading with the GM. I gave him 2 glasses of milk. Because you're a GM, you can have 2. You can have 2. How you're so lucky. You're so lucky. I gave him 2 glasses of milk and said that the charge was 1,000 gold. It was worth a try. He was a GM after all. He told me that all he had was some bottle rockets and traded them with me. That was good enough for me. I instantly shot off the rockets in happiness, but that caught the attention of White Winds. You blew your load! You quite literally blew your load too early, dude. That's what happened. You literally shot it into the sky in Colourful Notion. You got away with it! But then you went too far. A step too far. A damn step too far. White Winds whispered me, and I grimaced. It was happening again. What did I say? I told you time and time again. That's it. You are just not compatible with us. It's time you left the guild. At least he didn't bring his powerful friends. I was sick and tired of his shit, so I caps locked back. I am a member of this guild now. The others won't stand for this. He quickly kicked me. And I didn't receive as much as a whisper from any of them. God damn it. God damn it. Not Soraya. Not Lomaz. I was annoyed. Heartbroken. I love that guild. It was the entire game for me. You got spanked, son. You got spanked. You did not have the following you thought you had. You were incompatible, unfortunately. You did not compute. To conclude, my time in the guild was fun, and I will always remember it as my first steps into WoW. It provided me with adventure and wonder, something that I later felt once again when I started raiding for the first time. I hope you enjoyed my little story. P.S. I think the Gnome Guild is gone now. White Winds probably went crazy and kicked them all or something. Who knows? To be fair, you quite literally broke every single one of the things he asked you to do. Right? I wouldn't really blame White Winds, although he does seem to be, let's say, controlling a little bit. Maybe, tiny bit, controlling. You did literally do everything wrong that he asked you to do. Everything. Everything wrong. Okay, this story. I was ghosted 3 times. And I ghosted once. Get your ghost comments ready. Get it ready. Let's get delicious. Right, we need some people. I need some peeps. I need some peeps. I need some peeps. Okay. Oh, it's like character 1, character 2. Okay. Right, we need a female night elf hunter. Ooh. A girly sounding name. A con artist. And a billionaire. Who's a moneybags? Ooh, looks like a money bag. Oh, there's someone called Persian. Oh, I missed it. Persian something. It sounded delicious. I'm just going to go with Persian Pete. I forget your name. If I see it again, I'll correct it. Oh, Vindia? Vindia could be a lady name. I'm going to go with Vindia for the lady. Oh, we had Huntress Sylvie. Sylvie, I'll get you next time. I promise. I'll remember. Look at all the ladies now. Doge Liquor. I don't think we can have Doge Liquor here, but well done. Higgs. Higgs is in. We'll have Higgs. And Big Dill. Big Dill could be the con artist. That works. Big Dill. Big Dill. What a guy. What a guy. I'm going to go with Persian Pete, Big Dill, Higgs, and Vindia. Vindia. Those are going to be our guys. Big Dill making the game. Big Dill. Con artist. Working it. Working it. Okay. Get your ghosty icons ready. Here we go. I've made many mistakes in my life, Preacher. Here's just a few of them. Okay. My story begins, like many others, with a real-life friend by the name of Higgs. Higgs played a female Night Elf Hunter all throughout Wrath of the Lich King, Cata, and now Pandaria. He knew that I had played World of Warcraft back in the Burning Crusade and would constantly talk about how amazing Mists of Pandaria was. It was only after he told me that every male panda in the game was voiced by Jack Black, the star of Kung Fu Panda, that I decided I need to see it for myself. That lie is what brought you back. Don't you know that they got Jack Black to voice all the pandas? Didn't you know? Didn't you know that was a thing? No, now I've got to do it. Game's amazing. Got Throne of Thunder, you got the Isle, you got all this kind of stuff going on. It's really good. Nah, voiced by Jack Black. I must play. I must play now. Needless to say, immediately after I finished downloading the game, I logged into a brand new account and made a male Pandaren warrior. 3 things really caught me off guard. Uno, Jack Black definitely did not voice one of the pandas. Deuce, everything about the panda race was stereotypical and borderline racist. And thrice, the male Pandaren walk animation was the worst thing I've ever seen. Yeah, I can't disagree with many of those things. There was many of those things. What they definitely were not voiced by Jack Black, which is very cool. The panda race was, well, it was what it was. And the male panda animation is just awful. It's really bad. It's really bad. It's really, really bad. Since I had already paid my $15 dues, my freedom cash, for subscribing, I logged out and created a female Pandaren monk named Vindia. Oh, you're the female? Ah, it's not a real girl. I made my female Pandaren monk named Vindia, who had a great walk animation. Why did you put that in brackets? That sounds really dirty. I made him female Pandaren, who had a beautiful walking animation. The way those hairy ass cheeks rubbed together, bam, so good. And began to play. Began to play. Higgs didn't help me at all. Of course not. We'll level together. Right, guys? We're going to level together. What are you moaning at? It's bound to happen. We're real life friends. We're going to get together. We're going to level together. It's going to be awesome as fuck. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. I'm bringing you back. I'm bringing you back. Higgs didn't help me at all when it came to leveling. He would make excuses how he had to run some LFRs. Oh, we've all been there. I can't help you today. Can't help you today. I've got to run LFR. It's kind of important, right? Need my legendary cloak. I've got to go and, like, do LFR for my legendaries. Or kill Ordos, or something of that nature. It's not that I really cared, I was equipped with 50% XP bonus, and a button that would instantly find me a dungeon group whenever I wanted. A maze! I managed to get to 90 in a few days and started getting into Flexi and normal Siege of Orgrimmar in no time. That's character progression right there. That's how every game should be. I got to 90 and a few days later was in Flexi Siege of Orgrimmar. Spot the problem? I can't. Seems perfectly legitimate to me. Perfectly legitimate. Maybe, Don, but keep it to yourself. We like anonymity around here, Don. It was right around I hit 550 item level that Higgs started to beg for my help in something called, are you ready? A challenge mode dungeon. I need your help. I had no idea what it was, but it was the first time that Higgs had ever asked me to do anything with him, so I figured, why not? Several hours later, I figured out what a challenge mode carry was. I also figured out that these things were a lot harder than what I thought. Chapter 2. So it begins. Higgs was very upset that we couldn't get gold. To be fair, we were very, very close, but that made it all the more frustrating for Higgs. Nearly a dozen pugs and a handful of attempts went by until I finally decided to ask him, Why the fuck are we doing challenge modes? They don't seem to drop any gear. Why are we doing this? This is great and all. We have done this a dozen times now. Why are we doing this again? I just don't understand it. You didn't explain that to me. You just told me to come. I like it. I like throwing all that content into something in the game and having no idea why I'm doing it. That sounds great. As soon as I asked the question, though, Higgs signed off Skype and World of Warcraft without telling me anything. I wasn't really sure what to make of the whole situation, so I went to Google to get some answers. Sure enough, I eventually came across the reward that Higgs was seeking. Wowhead showed me the coolest looking set of armor gear that I've ever seen. The Hunter Transmog looked sick. With bear heads and fur lining the entire armor set. I had a weird feeling that if I clicked on the monk set, the armor was the dumbest fucking thing that I had ever seen since I saw the Pandaren male walk animation. But because all the other sets look cool, I convinced myself that the monk set must look good. Does anybody think that? Does anybody believe the monk challenge world set looks really, really good? I'm sure someone does. I'm sure someone believes the challenge world monk set looks really, really good. I'm sure they do. I'm sure they think it's very fantastic. I know that the helmet looks stupid on the gear, but I wanted the set to be cool so bad that I told myself that it was far better than any other set. The next day, I talked to Higgs a lot about the challenge modes and explained to him that I would love to try more. To my dismay, though, he said that he was done trying to pug noobs from trade chat and tried to run them through challenge modes. He had told me over Skype that he's simply going to buy a carry and have some other people do it for him. Sounds familiar. I just can't put my finger on who would pay people to run them through challenge modes rather than just do it themselves. Who would do that? Who is that lazy? If only I could picture someone. Looks like I was all out of options. If I wanted my ugly looking monk transmog set, it was time to start making money. Yeah. Okay, here we go. This is a story of making money. I had never really tried to make gold in Mr. Pandaria. It had been a long time since I've got used to the new money. I didn't have any professions level and I had no idea what to do to start making money at all. So I did the only thing I knew what to do. Raid. With a 550 item level and my legendary cloak on the way, I felt invincible. I went to all the level 70 raids that gave me trouble back in the day and cleared them all in minutes. Each raid boss would drop piles of gold and I could simply vendor all the level 70 epics that dropped. After days and days of farming gold raids, I managed to make the most money that I'd ever had. That's right. I was now sitting on 4,000 gold. It must be so weird to come back to the game after that long. In TBC, 4,000 G is not a great deal, but it's pretty fucking good, right? To have 4,000 G in TBC, for the most part, for the average player. Days in Mr. Pandaria farming 4,000 gold. Oh my god. In my mind, I had won. I had put in the time and now I could buy my challenge mode carry. I got these 4,000 cheeseburgers. Can I have a carry? The splendor, the rich life. I strolled up into Stallman like Mr. Moneybags and advertised to buy a 9 out of 9 challenge mode carry for 4,000 gold. It wasn't long before all of trade chat laughed at me. And when I say laughed at me, I mean they were all whispering me with ha 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 and no explanation why. I was confused, so I asked in trade chat how much did a challenge mode carry cost. I let out a groan as trade chat filled with the number of around 90,000 gold. That's cheeseburgers. I'm good to go. And then realised I had to do a lot better than just running level 70 raids in order to make that 90k. I needed to build some connections, play the auction house, and take advantage of as many people as I could. To get that ridiculous looking monk transmog set, I needed to scratch and claw my way to the top. 15 minutes after being laughed out of trade chat, I came back with a vengeance to trade chat. Spamming constantly that I could power level people's alts in dungeons. This is what WowHubs did back in his day. To my surprise, a mage. Who's the mage? Named Big Dill Big Dill steps up. To my surprise, a mage named Big Dill whispered me, I will pay you 150 cash money gold pieces a run through the Throne of Tides. Does that sound fair? Now, I read up to this bit, right? The fuck can anybody want from the Throne of Tides? What can anybody want to pay for from the Throne of Tides? Really? What in God's name can people want to pay for from the Throne of Tides? I ask you people, what? Big Dill, what are you after, Big Dill? Tell me, Dill. Alright, it's a deal, I whispered him back. I had no idea where the Throne of Tides was. It's the easiest dungeon to find in the world. You will have no problems getting to the Throne of Tides. I guarantee it. In fact, as an explorer myself, let me tell you, the Throne of Tides is in fact convenient. A convenient dungeon for convenient people. You're likely just to bump into it. Mm-hmm. Definitely. Definitely. Transmog, 150G a piece? So good. I had no idea where it was or if I could even solo a level 82 instance. But 150 gold coin pieces to me was like an entire run through the Serpent Shrike Cavern. 150 gold? That's like a whole SSC clear. Oh my god. So much cash money. So much money. I was really glad that I could easily blow through the dungeon. And to his credit, Big Dill had paid me each time I had cleared the final boss. That was until the 4th time that we had cleared. Wasn't it, Dill? Wasn't it? Oh, so sorry, man. Dill began. Yeah. I have all my gold on my main. I'll send you 1,000 G's your way after we're done. You're doing a really good job, so I'll put a tip on top of it, alright? Alright, bro? We're fine, right? We're cool, yeah? We're cool. 1,000 gold, bro. 1,000 gold in your pocket. 1,000 gold. Like an idiot, I didn't ask to get paid right away or even what his main character's name was, since I had never really ran other people through dungeons for money, still new to it. I played along and ran Big Dill through the Blackrock Foundry 6 times. I told him that I was getting tired. Big Dill told me to check my... Big Dill gave me a pat on the back, told me, that's okay. That's alright. Check your mailbox for the 1,000 gold. I'll send it you now. I sat in front of my mailbox in Stormwind for about an hour, and no gold arrived. No shit! Are you fucking kidding me? What a dick. I can't believe he did that. Next one. To be a master. I explained what happened to Higgs about me soloing level 70 dungeons for Big Dill and Big Dill tricking me into running him through the Blackrock Foundry 6 times for free. Higgs told me he felt bad and that I shouldn't be going out and trusting people. I shouldn't be trusting people, man. As much as I did. To my surprise, he told me that he had already bought his challenge mode gear and he started describing how cool it looked. How did you manage to get 90,000 gold so quickly, I asked. That's when Higgs leaned closer to me in real life. Started talking quieter. You really want to know, bro? All you got to do is get battle pets. That's it. They sell every time. I was pumped! Of course! It was so obvious. Why didn't I think of it before? What was I thinking? Running people through dungeons? Pet battles were hot. They're the new thing out on the market these days. I saw a certain battle pet sell for 30,000 gold in the auction house. I suffered through LFR all over again for Throne of Thunder and Siege of Orgrimmar pets. I kept farming mobs in the Timeless Isle for what was supposed to drop battle pets. And I took a few rare pets I did have and leveled them all to the way up to 25 before I smacked those sons of bitches on the auction house. After a week of intensive farming, I came up with 5 rare pets. All of which are level 25 and all of them remain in the auction house this very day. I still have never sold a single one. Woohoo! Ghosted, motherfucker! Get... Oh, I can't believe your first choice was the LFR pets that people run millions of times a day as well. That was what you went for straight away. Oh, Jesus Christ. Didn't sell a single one. Ghosted again. Ghosted again. This is still to get the money for the challenge modes, okay? Still to get the money for the challenge modes. The Ember Silk Tycoon steps in. Persian Pete. School had ended. I'd given up. I couldn't even break 10,000 gold barrier. And there was no way I was going to be able to reach 90,000 gold by the time patch 6.0 comes out. Raiding took up too much money in order to slowly build my way up over time as well. My days of gold farming were over. Or so I thought. In trade chat during that summer, I saw a name come up in trade chat. Persian Pete. He said he was looking for someone to farm him some Ember Silk cloth. And was willing to pay well. I didn't expect much when I whispered him, but the conversation went something like this. How much are you willing to pay me per stack of Ember Silk cloth if I decide to farm this stuff for you? For you, I'll give you 25 gold a stack. 25 gold? Sounds good to me. I'll go to Grimbatol right away. I'm on my way. I'm going. 25 gold. Woohoo! I'm on my way. I'm on my way. Of course. Now just hop to it and cod me all the stacks you get. All right. How many stacks would you like me to get? You could send up to 1,000 of them to me, my friend. My friend. Persian Pete. Persian Pete, my friend. You said 1,000, my friend. It's fine. It's fine. 1,000 stacks? You're out of your mind. I'm not getting 1,000 stacks, I told him. You will if you want to make more than 25,000 gold. It's always when it's the big number, 25,000 gold. And so I did it. Fuck my life. I can't believe people would do this. It's so funny. Hours and hours passed, but I was consumed with adrenaline of making so much money so fast. Hours and hours have passed. Every run through Grimbatol, I would slap on a potion of treasure hunting and clear the whole dungeon in no time. I would then take off all my armor and watch a naked character jump in some lava so I could spawn at the entrance, reset, and do it all again. The technique I developed was like clockwork, and I was making a killing. I had no idea where Persian Pete had got all of his money, but he was making me a very rich panda. I figured I should be nice to him so he could keep me in business. As it turns out, Persian Pete was 14 years of age and had been saving up thousands and thousands of gold with the understanding that he was about to take over the Ember Silk auction house market. Do we have any goblins here? Do we have any goblins here who want to comment on that decision? He didn't make his money on the Ember Silk market. He has farmed thousands of gold to enter the Ember Silk market and crush it. Goblins! Do we have any goblins? We must have a few goblins here. We must have. Panda Swaggins? No. Panda Swaggins it is not. We got some goblins? Yeah. Yeah, you guys know what that means, right? Bad idea. Bad idea, Mr. Persian Pete. I don't mean actual goblin players. The goblins will know what I mean. The real goblins will know what I mean. Persian. Oh, it's Persian Pones. Alright, I'm going to stick with Persian Pete, but it is Persian Pones. I do mean you. But he was paying me. I codded it, paid me. Every time I thought about quitting, he told me he'd make twice the money back he was paying me. We could enjoy things like challenge mode carries, sandstone drakes, and level 25 guilds soon enough. All the things a player needs. I started to like Persian Pete. He was very cool. And he kept me company during the many hours I was farming Ember Silk cloth in the Grimbatol. Between vendoring all the trash that dropped, selling all the Ember Silk to him, and all the treasure chests I got from using my potions, I was making nearly 2 Gs an hour. 2,000 gold an hour? That's amazing. Oh my god. Eventually I made it to 1,000 stacks of Ember Silk cloth. 1,000 stacks! Imagine! And ultimately I'd made 80,000 gold to call my own. Surprisingly, the Ember Silk market crashed. Persian Pete was completely broke. Oh, Pete. What happened, Pete? What happened, Pete? What happened to you? Really, Pete? You're doing so well. You farmed it. You were ready. You had the resources. You could have been the chosen one. Don't worry about him, though, because I was the one who now had all the money. Oh, we won't. Poor old Pete. Poor old Pete spent all his money on 1,000 stacks of Embersilk cloth. What a guy. At least he can wipe his ass in style for the future. This of course meant that I was now out of a job. A job. You were doing a job. I was now out of a job, unemployed, and had no real ways of making money. Higgs and I started to do more raids and play together a little bit. I would always get crazy defensive whenever he started talking smack about the Monk Transmog armor. Looked bad, even though I truly knew it looked like dog shit. The good news was that Summer Festival began, and that meant all around Azeroth there were bonfires that had gold laying around to anyone who returned in the quest in front of those bonfires. This was my moment. My chance to make my last thousands of gold. And so off I flew. I was ganked countless times. I stared at my map on Wowhead for hours at a time, but throughout all of my problems, from running Big Dill through Blackrock Mountain to try to collect battle pets, and my run-in with Persian Pete and his crazy get-rich-quick scheme, I was now a panda monk who started with nothing but a dream and some flex gear and made it. I remember walking into that magical city of Exodar and the colourful midsummer celebrants lining the streets as I obtained and finally broke 90,000 gold. The finale. Did I get the challenge mode carry yet? No. I paid them. And they wiped 5 times on Scarlet Monastery, or Scarlet Halls, and called it quits. I'm not even lying. I wish I was making it up. I really would. It's almost the best part. It almost is the best part. If I can make it bigger. Look, there you go. Come on, it's brilliant. 1,000 stacks. Multiple level 25 battle pets. Oh my god. He got his money back though. Here's the next line. He got his money back. Luckily I got my money back. I never heard from Persian Pete since the Embersilk thing. I think after it didn't work out he quit WoW. I don't know. Higgsy is quitting the game until WoD comes out. He tried heroic raiding in Kata and didn't seem to like it very much, so I guess I'll have to wait and see if he comes back before then. Big Dill is a scumbag, and I tried searching for his name if he comes online, but the guy never logs on his mage alt. Go figure. And as for me, I'm doing some heroic Siege of Orgrimmar pugs right now and staying far away from Grim Batol. That place is the worst. Anyway, I hope you like my story. Hopefully you can read it on the show. You take it easy. And we will do that. What a wonderful story. I love it. I love that you actually got the money and then it just went fucking pear-shaped. So good. He got his money back. It's fine. He got his cash back. So good. Double, triple ghosting and a reverse ghosting. Thank you so much, guys. Will I be streaming again? I have made people aware of this, but my wife is away for a week, starting from Monday, which means I'm looking after my son all day, and then being able to try and get to work after I put him to sleep, which means I'm going to be tired, stressed, and busy, so probably no streaming for the next 5 days. I might be streaming on Sunday, though. Sunday is my last day of work before she goes away. Other than that, have a great weekend. Thank you to everybody who subscribed. I hope you do something with your 4th of July. I hope you're celebrating properly, doing something with it. And if you're not American, celebrate anyway, because it's cool. Other than that, I'll see you later, guys. All right? UBRS will be doing it. Oh, sorry, Don. I'll get there. Don't worry, Don. We'll find you. We'll find you. I'll put you in. Don't worry.